Good morning and welcome to day 2 of Sourdough Bread Easy. Today we'll be baking the bread. I took the bread out of the fridge after 15 hours and this is what it looked like. Now, this is the camp oven that I cooked it on. It's in 2 parts so I can put the bread in the bottom part and use the top part as an oven lid. I put them both on the pizza stone in the pizza oven to heat up. Here's a couple of things that you might need to have ready. Something sharp to cut the bread when you've got it out of the banneton, and some flour to dust the pan. While you're waiting for the stove to reach about 250 degrees, gently ease the bread around the sides in the banneton. It may be easier to get out that way. Oh well, these things do happen, and you end up with an interesting shaped loaf this way. So now the lid's back on and it's back in the pizza oven, and I've set the timer. While waiting the first 17-18 minutes to take the lid off the camp oven, just wander around your garden. It's always a nice thing to do. What's happening? This is a new garden bed here that I've put potatoes in. They'll come up in spring. But set a timer. Always set a timer. Because if you're anything like me, you'll wander around, get sidetracked, and before you know it, something twitches your nose and you can smell something and you think, uh-oh, that's the bread. So go for a wander, but keep track of time. Well, that's a very healthy looking pea plant. It's been the strangest weather, hasn't it? Like we had frost, and then it stopped being frosty and it started being warm again. And the fruit trees sent out flowers thinking it was spring, and then it got cold again. Let's hope they still will produce fruit and flowers in the spring when it's the right time to do it all. Anyway, I won't go too far away from the oven, which is on Tin Hut Tiny House. I'll just go for a little wander around. I've made new garden beds here, which will be really nice, especially when they've got heaps of things in them. I'm kind of doing a loop around here just to have a little look at stuff. I had a hand with moving some of this big pile of mulch over to a new area that I'm making a garden with, and that was my friend George, and he helped by bringing his tractor, and we put a dent in it with that. Now right over by the chook pen there's a new garden. Well, I can smell something now, so I'm right next to the pizza oven on the deck of Tin Hut Tiny House. I'm keeping my eye on the temperature and I'm keeping my nose on the smell. It smells pretty good. That's bread making for you. It wasn't quite hot enough, I don't think, or it might have cooled down a lot when I put the bread in, because the bread didn't come out of the banneton really easily. So maybe the camp oven cooled down a bit. Anyway, I've taken the lid off now, and as you can see by the photo, it's a pretty round, flattish sort of a loaf. But hey, that's sourdough bread baking for you. Every time you make something, you get a surprise, and usually it's a pretty good surprise. I'll leave that in there for another 15-20 minutes and I'll be back. I've put the timer on for 17 minutes, so I'll walk back across to Jenga, the yurt. I'll walk around the veggie garden, show you what's happening there. Hello chickens, you all look happy. It is kind of winter now, so we've got the winter veggies happening. I've eaten one broccoli and it's now got sprouts coming along. That's pretty nice. I shared that with a friend, the broccoli. Over here I can see that the cauliflowers have started to form, so that'll be really nice. I've got masses of salady type stuff, and I think I've got enough time to nip inside and make a cup of tea. The kettle's just about boiled. Time for a nice cup of tea. Well, I'll make it and then I'll take it back over there. Oh dear, I did it again. I got waylaid, I got distracted, I made my cup of tea, and then I answered a message on my phone. And as I walked back over with my cup of tea, as I walked back over, I could smell the bread. And I looked at the temperature gauge and it had jumped up 20 degrees, and that's the joy of actually cooking in a pizza oven. There's no thermostat really for the heat thing, and being a pizza oven, well, what it really wants to do is just get hotter and hotter. And this is the result. One side of my bread ended up very dark. So here we have it, a strange shaped loaf of sourdough bread that got a little too dark. Let's see what it looks like inside. Let's see if I made a okay loaf of bread after all. It may look a little bit funny, but it tastes great.